You all nice and comfy? Ready for the director's commentary of past tense? Got my popcorn here to get this show on the road. Bam. So we've got this opening shot here. This was one of my favorites to shoot because we were filming in the back of a mechanic shop. As you can see, there's tools and whatnot on the wall. We're also shooting 4:3 to basically emulate like an 80s camera. They didn't have widescreen high definition back then, so we kind of had to create the illusion. We left the footage actually as HD, just cropped down to 4:3. Coming up here is one of my favorite tricks.
Great, Doc. Good improvisation.
What did you see? We actually didn't have a prop for that camera. So we actually used a Crown Royal box, and we just had Greg hold it and drop it and bring it back up. And it's not, if you freeze frame, you could see the trick. But if you just roll through it, you completely, you completely get the illusion. So coming in here, we have this little scene where we have the car from Back to the Future. We shot this just kind of out on the back by, a roadway. If you're going to shoot that way, beware, you will need a good microphone, and you will be pausing every 30 seconds for a car to drive by. We had airplanes flying overhead. This location was so noisy, and it slowed us down so much. But essentially, this exchange sets up kind of the properties of the car.
I've got a project that's due tomorrow, a video project, and if I don't have that, I'm gonna get an F in my video production course. I don't have time for time travel.
That's the beauty of it, Murphy. You can leave at 2 o'clock, take a video recorder with you. When you get back, you'll have all sorts of fancy footage to work with, and it'll still be 2 o'clock.
Losing time travel for my own bed. All right, Doc, you told me. I'll be your guinea pig on this.
Now, this is the car, and this was actually Greg's Mazda at the time.
All you need to do is hit that hill at full speed, and the gravity moving downhill will accelerate the car enough to activate the quantum accelerator and send you, Murphy, hurtling into the future.
And here I totally cheat.
Awesome. Let's do this.
And just boom, we don't have to see him take off. We're just in a new scene, reading the captain's log, so we know we're in the future. We're switched over from Back to the Future to the Star Trek realm now.
The repairs are almost finished, and we're just about ready to depart.
Yours truly, looking good in red.
Intruder alert, Shuttle Bay 2.
And now the title screen. Past tense. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I got nothing. When we get into actually, revamping remaster, this is going to be one of the early things that we tackle. It's cool, but, these are lens flares and static titles. Great things, but, it goes on a little bit long. The piece of music I needed to stretch out, so. And now we're on a green screen. Can you tell? Can you tell?
The future? Awesome. I'm gonna go explore.
No.
Apparently in the 24th century, we still wear watches.
Wait, what?
Which is funny, because I don't wear a watch these days, but I did that.
And we're taking you back where you came from before you cause any damage to the timeline.
All right. So.
Also,
take the car
spiky
Yeah,
hair plus green
The
screen.
green time machine was highly experimental.
back. Yeah.
Also, it has a horrible fuel economy, and we don't really have enough road on this ship to get you up to speed in that thing.
It was a miracle I could get up to 33 to begin with. So, how are you gonna get me back to the 80s?
Simple.
Now,
Just a quick spin around the sun at high
Now, I'm not entirely sure why I have a shadow on my head. I presume I backlit myself.
Bizarre.
It's actually scientifically ridiculous.
Oh, iPhone 3GS? Maybe that was my 4S.
Right about...
Bam. The background of this shot and of that little effect sequence we just saw actually both come from a game. Star Trek Online. I borrowed some assets. Once again, those are the kind of things we're going to be taking out and putting in real ones.
Now, or rather 380
Now,
years from now.
coming up here is another one of my favorite effect sequences. Check this out.
Computer, I need 20th century civilian clothing. Right this way.
I just beamed down a car. Want to know how I did it? More on that later.
Here we are, back in 1988.
Awesome. Can't wait to tell Doc I met a real spaceman from the future.
Starship Captain.
I'm
Get it
sorry,
right.
whatever works for you. Doesn't look how I remember it.
Well, we didn't have an exact coordinate, so we kind of beamed down in the area. Tell you what, take a look around. I'll grab a map for you.
Ah, yes. Greg starts on his
I don't remember
confusion.
that being there.
Or should I say, Murphy starts on his confusion of, where the heck are we? And of course, these doors don't actually make this sound. I just had to put something in there. Ah, yes. Did you hear that line? Because I didn't. And no one else did either. You know, we were so far away, we didn't have a lav, we didn't have wireless. So we just boomed the shotgun mic just off screen as close as we could get it and hope for the best.
When are we?
We're going to fix that, though.
Best estimates were in approximately
Now,
2011.
I just want to comment a little bit about putting your actors like this right up against a wall. I mean, we've got Murphy, we've got the captain, and then poof, white wall of doom.
Booyah! This is awesome!
No, this is totally not awesome.
Which is all, you know, fine and dandy, but this shot could have been so much better if they had met over by the door instead of over by the wall.
Yeah.
Now, there's two practical reasons why we had to shoot kind of against the wall. One is this was an active library, so there are people coming in and out of the shot and in the shot and through the shot and around the shot. Second off, we've got a shot coming up where Joe, I believe we called him, comes up and puts a poster up on the wall. Well, we wanted to actually have kind of a two-shot and have him walk through it.
Look! They have posters of the year 2011. Dude, a Star Wars marathon.
Star Wars marathon. With no time and place. Busted.
Glad you could make it. You're the only
Okay.
people who were able to come
So,
out.
this... Two things about this. One, continuity error. What am I wearing on my face? I'm wearing my old glasses. This kind of looks almost like it's projected. The effect isn't totally sold. And this is an effect. This isn't... we actually sat in a room in the library that we managed to book for, I think it was hour or something like that. And we talked at a whiteboard. There's glass doors all on the right side, going back into the library. But we just shot right on the straight ahead, just as if there was a projector. And I literally just took rips from one of the DVDs and just superimposed them, rounded the edges, blurred the edges a little bit, kind of softened them a little bit to try and get that effect. We're actually going to swap these out as well later. I want to, technically this material is copyright, and while on the whole I'm pretty sure Lucasfilm won't care because I'm not actually screening the movie, I still consider it a problem. You know, they would be within their right to say, no, you're using our content. Even though this is a work of parody, actually displaying the movies themselves in any way, shape, or form in that, I think is past the point of parody. What we're actually going to do to the shot is we're actually going to replace it with some menus and some emulated material to make it look like the Star Wars movies, but it's actually going to be our generated material leading into the Star Wars movies, which should get around this issue entirely. You can see the light there we're using to light the actors. And essentially all I'm doing is I'm throwing it on the back of us and on the whiteboard to get some bounce back in the face. I originally wanted to have another lamp blued up a little bit and just smashing on that whiteboard just so the whiteboard would glow looking like a projector. But I didn't have the fixture.
Thanks for the help, Captain. I really learned a lot.
Well, Murphy, I'm glad you learned to respect time travel.
Respect.
Yeah, sure.
And now we actually take off, and once again, because I didn't have the visual effects prowess to actually do the burning tires, we do it off screen. No one's the wiser, and we follow Captain Stewart here.
Jonathan Stewart, Captain USS Vancouver.
Busted.
Dr. Emily Green, what are you doing in this time frame?
That's Commander Emily.
Just like the Next Gen cast, I have a little issue following temporal prime directives.
But not before you let him watch Star Wars prequel movies. Quickly, we need to get back to the future to repair the time-space continuum.
Okay, let's go. Vancouver.
And now we're on to the credits. So essentially, that's the movie. We went through, we shot this. There was a couple of days shooting, and probably a week or two of editing. Obviously, I still had work to do, and I also had schoolwork to do. But what we essentially came up with was this, was the final product. It was actually reasonably well reviewed in class. I believe we all got great grades on it. The class definitely found a lot of the issues that we had. So essentially what I want to do now is we start taking it apart. We're going to look at it. And we're going to go through and we're going to rebuild it from the ground up. We're not going to use even the existing project file from it. I'm actually going to start from the ground. I'm going to import the footage. We're going to ingest it. And then we're going to build our shots up from there. The challenge with that, I don't have the shooting script. It's somewhere, but I don't know where. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to show you how I ingest media, how I prepare that media, organize it, label it. We'll go through collecting a whole bunch of takes so I can get all the takes together and we can see them and audition them. So we'll figure that out as we go. So yeah, glad to have you along on the ride, and make sure, if you're not already, subscribe. I hate begging for subscribes, but really if you want to know and keep up with this, that's the best way to do it. You subscribe, you can even turn on direct notifications if you want, so you get an email every time I upload one of these. It'll definitely be the fastest way to get this information. Also, of course, like, comment. Did you catch an error or an issue I didn't mention? Comment below. And yeah, so I'll see you next time when we're doing media logging and ingesting. Till then, that's a wrap. And that's good popcorn. Needs more salt though. I wonder what else is on.